I would also like to recognize our Make It Happen program for being named the Magna Award winner for districts between 5,000 and 20,000 students by the National School Boards Association. Make It Happen, as many of you know, is a program that identifies first-generation students and helps them to aspire to and understand what they need to do to be competitive college applicants. For over 10 years, hundreds of students have been able to build their college profiles through pursuing rigorous academic experiences, preparing for college admissions, and participating in co-curricular and outside of school activities that highlight their potential. Central to the Portland Public Schools promise is the idea that we prepare and empower students for the next step. Nothing we do is more clearly aligned to this promise than what Make It Happen has been doing for those 10 years. Committed program leadership from Program Coordinator Tim Cronin and his team, some of whom are with us today. Talented students and community volunteers have made this program worthy of this highest recognition from our peers across the country. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the person who started this all, our Communications and Community Partnerships Executive Director, Grace Valenzuela. Grace saw the unbelievable potential in our students and recognized that it would go unrealized without dedicated support. And so she started this program and has kept it going through good times and bad. And as a result, hundreds of students have found pathways to better outcomes than they otherwise would have. I'm so very proud of all the Make It Happen team, our students in the Portland community that has so generously supported these efforts. So congratulations, Make It Happen. You guys are amazing. And I think, Grace, you probably have a video because it seems like every time I talk to you, you have a video. And I also would love for you to just acknowledge some of the amazing people that you work with.
I'll start first with a video if I can share my screen, but I'm not allowed to share my screen.
Did you want to share the video you shared with me?
Yes, please, Greg. Yeah, it will be great if you will do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make It Happen is fun and energetic.
Having a better future.
A very safe environment.
Leadership, leadership, leadership.
Excellence, inspiration,
Effective.
and supportive.
Make It Happen is success.
Success.
And shooting up and above.
It's like Make It Happen need to spread widely. I'm originally from Iraq, but I used to live in Ukraine. I recently moved to the United States, and I didn't know how things worked in school or what classes to choose and where to go to if I need help.
We're in the same class, and we're at that stage of middle school where, you know, we're ready to move on to high school, make a transition, but then we didn't know how to, and that's when Make It Happen came in.
I come from a big family, and my parents are not educated in America. They never attended school even back in Sudan. So when I came here, they were not used to the American system of education. If I needed help in school, they were not able to help me with homework or other services. So getting a tutor was really good for me. Getting a tutor was great.
What Make It Happen helped me improve was on my test, and that was mostly vocabulary work. And I learned from time to time that I was a visual learner.
The program offered me guidance and support whenever I needed it. It was always there. I could go in and get help whenever I wanted.
Bishop College requires supplementary essay. So beside my personal essay for the Common App, I have to write the supplement essay for the college I'm applying to. We are applying to 10 schools. So, which means that I have to write 10 essays or more than that.
I don't think the kids ever felt like they really belonged to something. So what we tried to do from day one is to start to build a little community, but moreover to connect with each other and to connect with us. And then when the kids started to connect, they started to plug into our program more. They started coming by.
When I think of the Make It Happen program, I think of a very safe environment and a place where people come together, people of different race, like different ethnicities come together, and they help each other get through like the academic stuff. And I think they're like basically your friends, and without friends you can't really get through school.
Well, I would define Make It Happen as an innovative program, an empowering program, and a very effective program. I use those words because Make It Happen gives every person an opportunity to showcase what they can do, and it pushes you and gives you the drive to give it your all.
Make it happen.
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 Thank you. That video was produced a while back, not at the start, but maybe midway in terms of the program. Maybe that was a 2010 or 11 video. And I don't know if you recognize some of the students. They're already contributing members in our community. At Portland Public Schools, we are committed to advancing equity. And MIH is one example that demonstrates this commitment in finite terms. We understand that true progress in our quest to advance equity will rely on disrupting status quo as we know it. Make It Happen is a great example of what is possible when students are given voice and agency to be proactive in their own path to success. The hard work and commitment to truly show up requires the same work ethic and mindset that lead to success. Courage, resilience, perseverance, and a deeper sense of connection to family and community. I want to acknowledge the staff members instrumental in making the vision a reality. Any leader can dream up grand visions and goals, but without talented and dedicated staff who are committed to equity and educational justice, it's going to be difficult to achieve it. Make It Happen wouldn't have been a successful and award-winning program. On behalf of our students, current and former, and their families, thank you to all the staff for the work that they do above and beyond. I also want to thank our Superintendent Butana, who came to the district 5 years ago with his vision of equity. He is tenacious in addressing systemic racism and prioritizes moves focused on diversity, inclusion, and equity. We are also blessed with having a school board that shares this commitment. Together, this powerful partnership enabled us to secure local funding for Make It Happen and staffing and resources. I'm not sure if you know that the program was started as a grant funded, and we have, seeded money through grants. Thank you to the Portland Board of Public Education for their support collectively and individually, specifically for former board member Marnie Marioni and current board member Miki Bondo for joining our cadre of volunteer academic coaches at Make It Happen. And thank you to the National School Board Association for this amazing recognition. It's a great honor for Maine and for Portland Public Schools. And I want to turn it over to Tim Cronin, who is our leader, amazing leader of the program. Tim?
Tim, you're muted.
Okay, minor detail. Thank you, everybody, so much for having us, and thank you to Grace and Javier and the whole school board. I wanted to take 2 seconds to just to say that it's a pretty big deal, this award, in that the National School Board Association has considered us and selected us, in that we're being considered as a program that levels the playing field in providing such critical access to educational resources and support for multilingual students. If that's not a big deal, I'm not sure what is. From the day we got here, and I'm afraid that I'm going to thank some of the same people Grace just did, but just to hit home, Javier, from the day you arrived, you were welcoming. I mean, you were welcoming to taking us in and making it possible for us to proliferate. And if you weren't there, I'm not sure we would have had any success, if at all. The school board over the years have just been 100% supportive. I can't think of any instance where the school board has not supported us from the point we started. And without your support, no way would we have made it, because we started out with being grant funded, as Grace had mentioned, but now we've transitioned over the last 3 or 4 years. I hope through our credibility to being funded by the district completely as of this year. It's no small development. Hats off to Grace as being the originator and the progenitor of this program, coming up with the idea after speaking with a kid about how the kid said, we need this program, and she brought it to fruition, and a woman named Jane Armstrong took it under her belt and developed it to the point where the kids were ready for high school. She works for central office now, and she was a big part of the program in the beginning, and set us up for success. Hats off to the school principals, Derek Pierce, Allison Dame, Abdullahi Ahmed, and Sheila Jepson, who welcomed Make It Happen right off the bat and have enabled us to operate and coordinate our efforts, with staff to help our students to proliferate, and have supported us unconditionally. But the real heavy hitters are our Make It Happen site coordinators, Sarah Hassan at Casco Bay High School, Leah Dixon at Deering, and Daniel Wong at Portland. And what they do is they make themselves highly accessible and easy to connect with so that students can proliferate. Our success, if at all, has been directly associated with the day-to-day work in the trenches, through thick and thin, of our site coordinators to get our students to realize and maximize their potential. It's not always easy, because they're kind of like nice tiger moms, in that they have to talk about whether or not students are reaching their potential, and to basically point out that there might be shortcomings, and that they model success every day, and it's not easy to attain that standard every day. Our site coordinators exercise direct impact, and they influence a ton of students' lives, and they've succeeded in creating a sense of belonging and a hub for academic excellence for so many kids. I think we're in our 11th year at the high school level, and it's really kind of cool how many kids have graduated from high school, come back to the community, or we hear about their successes and how they're changing the world. Not just in the sense of that they're successful with their professions, but it's also the impact they're making on their communities, and including Portland. And I think that many of them have civic and professional profiles that are really focused on trying to make the world a little better place. With respect to college admission, our site coordinators, they've been instrumental in getting 99% of our kids, the vast majority of them, secure admission and financial aid. It's really important in that they help kids to find the money to go without indebting themselves, and making prudent decisions. The fact of the matter is that our site coordinators, Leah Dixon, Sarah Hassan, and Danielle Wong, their service counts and matters, it really matters, and hats off to them. Critically, our students are just astounding. Whenever you work with them, you're usually walking away with this feeling and this sense that I'm in the presence of grace. Not every day. Everybody has their days and moments. But the truth is, whenever you set up kids for success, they usually rise to the occasion and they take full advantage of the opportunity. Sometimes they run with it to the point where you're astounded at their capacity that they may not even know they had. And typically they have tons of heart and soul. And just a heads up and a shout out to you, because we're so proud of you. Our community volunteers, you wouldn't believe it. Some of them have been serving for over 10 years. One woman named Ann Sawchuk, she's on her second leg of a 7-year tour where she picked up kids in middle school and walked them right to the college door, and then picked up another series of 7th graders. Guy named Todd Ramaj Healy, he's been here so long, I'm not sure how old he is, but he's been serving our kids probably for the last 11 years. But those are just two of them. And our coaches we call them our coaches. They're our volunteer academic tutors. And they've really gone the distance during COVID because they're tutoring remotely this year. And I can't say it's a holiday for them, but they haven't skipped a beat, and our students have received the critical support they need. It's important to recognize a woman named Nanette Dyer Blake, who you all know because she puts everything together for everybody, and she's behind the scenes and sets up all of our volunteers. I know she knows everybody at central office because she's always helping everybody. She also sets up most of the events that I'm aware of in the district, and she shines a great spotlight on our students and families and saves everyone's neck. A big hats off to Nanette Dyer Blake. I also want to recognize our partners like the Telling Room and Ripple Effect, Seeds of Peace, but there's just so many that we could, we work with 40 odd some odd partners who pro bono work with our kids to bring fabulous professional and civic engagement opportunities to our students and to help them enhance their civic profiles, which in turn, and their professional profiles, which in turn make Portland, Maine, and the United States a better place to live. And hopefully those students can exercise influence so that they change the world to make it a little better place. And finally, hats off to the people who deserve the most credit, and that's the parents. And thanks for raising such fabulous kids and for being for them every day. And that's it. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tim. Mr. Superintendent, I don't want to take your floor, but I do see a couple of board members who have their hands up. Can we take their questions or comment?
Absolutely.
Okay. Ms. Bondo.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Thank you, Superintendent, to allow me to make that comment, because I cannot be silent with the good news of the Making Happen, because I just want to say it loud. Thank you to Grace and thank you to Tim, to the great, amazing achievement, and we're going there. Because 9 years ago, I was one of the volunteer coach, mentor for the Making Happen. So I am so proud, because when I joined the team those years back, I knew exactly that the Making Happen, it was a transformative, effective program who really can make an impact for those achievement gaps than we've been seeing in the public school. And then when I see the results has spoken right now, and I feel like, okay, we're moving to the right direction. And I just want our board to consider, because right now, the Making Happen is just going into the high school level. Back then, we used to start from the middle school. And I think that's the most transitional place where our students need the most help to move the change forward. And I think I just want to advocate a piece. Can we look about in the future how we can, going back to have that Making Happen, going back to the middle school, where we can have a game change for the achievement gap from there, and moving our students to that direction, then they can just succeed, not only in public school, not only in Maine, any global stage, because we give them the tool. We're bringing opportunities to our students where they are. So thank you, Make It Happen. Thank you to my great team. I'm part of that great team, and I'm so emotional, exciting to see that exactly what I have believed in it is the result that we accomplish, all of us together. Thank you. And I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much.
Mr. Rodriguez. And thank you so much, Ms. Bondo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll be brief. Also, I don't want to take up too much of the time, but I like Mickey said, I could not stay silent either and not acknowledge this amazing recognition. I've had the pleasure of attending the National School Board Association's annual conferences over the last several years. And when the Magna Award videos, are presented, or the awards are presented and the videos are played, is usually in this massive arena where all of the attendees are gathered. So literally thousands of school board members from around the country watching these awards be given. Now, unfortunately, this year we won't have that physically, but I wanted to give you an idea of how number one, how difficult it is to be recognized at this level, how meaningful it is, and how special you have to be to stand out from the thousands of districts across this country that are doing incredible work, right? So kudos to everyone in the group, and so many people have already been mentioned. I wanted to just highlight one last thing. I remember that budget where we transitioned from grant funding to our local funding, and I remember that budget had a lot of potential cuts that were being considered, and I remember that there was a lot of pressure to lower that budget. And there was a lot of sacrifices that were made at that budget. And I remember the youth development programs being the level of advocacy, and we protected those youth development programs in that budget. We back then knew the value that they had. We knew that it was special. And we had Grace Valenzuela telling us, listen, we've been doing this. This is worth it. Like if we risk this, if we don't move this to our local budget and we risk losing this, the value is gone. And so think about that in the context of this year's budget, right? The risk of losing something of great value if you don't secure it into your budget. And a few years later, national recognition, because the value just shines so bright that it's impossible to ignore it. So I just wanted to thank everyone again for all the hard work, and great to hear everyone speak so well of the program. Super proud of it. Just keep it up. We're so proud to be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rodriguez. And thank you so much, Tim and Grace and the whole team. And Superintendent, handing it back to you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. So again, thank you, Grace and Tim and the whole team. We are incredibly proud of you.